Frog Prince by Grimm Brothers. One fine evening a young princess put on her bonnet and clogs, and went out to take a walk by herself in a wood. And when she came to a cool spring of water, that rose in the middle of it, she sat herself down to rest a while. Now she had a golden ball in her hand, which was her favorite plaything. And she was always tossing it up into the air, and catching it again as it fell. After a time she threw it up so high that she missed catching it as it fell. And the ball bounded away, and rolled along upon the ground, till at last, it fell down into the spring. The princess looked into the spring after her ball, but it was very deep, so deep that she could not see the bottom of it. Then she began to bewail her loss, and said,
"Alas! If I could only get my ball again, I would give all my fine clothes and jewels, and everything that I have in the world."
Whilst she was speaking, a frog put its head out of the water, and said,
"Princess, why do you weep so bitterly?"
"What can you do for me, you nasty frog? My golden ball has fallen into the spring."
"I do not want your pearls, jewels, and fine clothes, but if you will love me, and let me live with you and eat from off your golden plate, and sleep upon your bed, I will bring you your ball again."
"Well, if you will bring me my ball, I will do all you ask."
Then the frog put his head down, and dived deep under the water. And after a little while, he came up again, with the ball in his mouth, and threw it on the edge of the spring. As soon as the young princess saw her ball, she ran to pick it up, and she was so overjoyed to have it in her hand again, that she never thought of the frog but ran home with it as fast as she could. The frog called after her,
"Stay, princess, and take me with you as you said."
but she did not stop to hear a word. The next day, just as the princess had sat down to dinner, she heard a strange noise, tap, tap, plash, plash, as if something was coming up the marble staircase. And soon afterwards there was a gentle knock at the door, and a little voice cried out and said,
"Open the door, my princess dear, open the door to thy true love here. And mind the words that thou and I said by the fountain cool, in the greenwood shade."
Then the princess ran to the door and opened it. And there she saw the frog, whom she had quite forgotten. At this sight, she was sadly frightened and shut the door as fast as she could come back to her seat. The king, her father, seeing that something had frightened her, asked her what was the matter.
"There is a nasty frog that lifted my ball for me out of the spring this morning. I told him that he should live with me here, thinking that he could never get out of the spring, but there he is at the door, and he wants to come in."
While she was speaking the frog knocked again at the door, and said,
"Open the door, my princess dear, open the door to thy true love here. And mind the words that thou and I said by the fountain cool, in the greenwood shade."
Then the king said to the young princess,
"As you have given your word you must keep it, so go and let him in."
So she went and opened the door, and the frog hopped in after her right up to her chair, and, as soon as she was seated, the frog said,
"Take me up."
She hesitated so long that at last, the king ordered her to obey. As soon as the frog sat on the chair, he jumped onto the table and said,
"Now push your plate near me, that we may eat together."
She did so, but, as everyone saw, very unwillingly. The frog seemed to relish his dinner, but every bit that the king's daughter ate nearly choked her. At last the frog said,
"I am satisfied, and feel very tired. Will you carry me upstairs now to our room, and make our bed ready so that we may sleep?"
At this speech, the princess began to cry, for she was afraid of the cold frog, and dared not touch him, and besides, he wanted to sleep in her beautiful, clean bed.
So she took the frog up with 2 fingers and put him in a corner of her room. But, as she lay in her bed, he crept up to it, and said,
I am so very tired that I shall sleep well. Do take me up, or I will tell your father.
This speech put her in a passion, and, catching up the frog, she threw him with all her strength against the wall, saying angrily,
Now, will you be quiet, you ugly frog?
But, as he fell, he was changed from a frog into a handsome prince with beautiful eyes. He told her that he had been enchanted by a spiteful fairy, who had changed him into a frog, and that he had been fated so to abide till some princess should take him out of the spring, and let him eat from her plate, and sleep upon her bed.
You have broken his cruel charm, and now I have nothing to wish for, but that you should go with me into my father's kingdom, where I will marry you, and love you as long as you live.
Yes. Yes to all this, and as they spoke a brightly colored coach drove up, with 8 beautiful horses, decked with plumes of feathers and a golden harness.
And behind the coach rode the prince's servant, faithful Heinrich, who had bewailed the misfortunes of his dear master during his enchantment so long and so bitterly, that his heart had well nigh burst. They then took leave of the king, and got into the coach with 8 horses, and all set out, full of joy and merriment, for the prince's kingdom, which they reached safely, and there they lived happily a great many years. The end. Thank you for watching.
Wow.